Let me get a quick sip of water. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Auriel and I'm a certified holistic health coach, helping you to prioritize yourself and your well-being so you can live your healthiest, happiest life. In this video, we are going to be getting a little personal and talk about birth control, aka the pill. So naturally, this topic is pretty woman-centered. Any guys out there, if you want to learn more, you're curious about this topic, feel free to stick around, but just know that this is pretty much directed toward the ladies out there. So this topic of birth control, hormonal birth control to be specific, is pretty near and dear to my heart because it's really what started me on my wellness journey and really got me on the path to where I am today, to becoming a holistic health coach. A little bit before going off of birth control, I was really getting into fitness and going to the gym like 5 or 6 days a week, counting macros, tracking my meals and calories and things like that. But once I started to learn about birth control and the effects it was having, that's what really opened my eyes to like, okay, you know, health and wellness isn't just about what you're eating and how much you're exercising. It's so much deeper than that. There's so much that actually affects how we feel on a day-to-day basis, and it's not just about how we look, how in shape we are, or how fit we are. It's way more than that, like so much deeper than that. So I'm gonna tell you like a little bit about my journey with birth control. Spoiler, I am not on birth control. I got off of it about 2 years ago, but let me take you back a couple of years. Before we get into things though, I do want to just give the disclaimer that I am not telling you to get off of birth control. I am not telling you to get on birth control, and whatever you think is right for you and is best for your body, that's exactly what you should do. I started taking birth control way back in college, and I was taking it for acne. During my freshman year of college, I started to break out really bad with cystic acne. That was something unusual and new for me, and I went to my doctor and she recommended for me to go on birth control. Now, mind you, my doctor was extremely pro birth control. Before that, she was always asking me like, are you ready to go on birth control? Do you want to go on birth control? And I was just like, no, I'm good. No, thank you. But when she mentioned it this time for acne, I was like, yeah, I'll do it, because I was willing to do pretty much anything to fix the issue. And luckily it did help. Like, it really helped with my skin. I really liked taking it, not only for the fact that it helped clear my skin, but it also was giving me lighter periods, more predictable periods, less symptoms with my period. So I was all around like, this is awesome. Fast forward about 7 years, and that's when things started to change. My attitude toward birth control started to shift a bit. So at that time, I started to have vision issues, and I went to see an optometrist and was diagnosed with severe dry eyes. Super random and seemingly unconnected, but as you will see in a minute, very related to the topic at hand. When I was diagnosed with dry eyes, and I know dry eyes seems like not that serious or like not that bad, but let me tell you, it's much worse than it sounds. Just like, imagine your eyes being so dry and like feeling like sand is in them. Like, it's very unpleasant. But anyway, I was diagnosed with dry eyes, and I'm working with my optometrist. We're trying to figure out like what's causing this, like what's going on here. And we come to the conclusion that, or well, she came to the conclusion that was the birth control. And she recommended that I stop taking it, try a different form of birth control, a different brand, something like that. But once I learned this literally sent me down a rabbit hole of researching the symptoms of birth control. There are a lot, and I really didn't know about any of these. Maybe my doctor well, no, I don't think my doctor mentioned it. Maybe I should have read the label a little bit more closely, but I really wasn't aware of these side effects, and I was pretty surprised at what I was learning. Not only was I experiencing dry eyes, but there were other symptoms or other side effects that I was experiencing that were related to possible side effects from birth control. For example, headaches, fatigue, depression, gut health issues, candida overgrowth. Like, I was experiencing a bunch of different things, and I was like, maybe there's a connection here. Maybe it's the pill. So needless to say, I decided to get off birth control. I realized that it wasn't for me. I needed to get off of it so I could start to heal from these different issues. I finished up my last pill packet and I never took it again, and that was about 2 years ago that I stopped taking it. So I have been birth control, or say hormonal birth control free for about 2 years. And getting off the pill was not really an easy process at all. So I'm going to talk a little bit more about some of the details of the pill and how it actually works. So how does birth control actually work? I'm gonna be honest, when I went on birth control, I had no idea like what was happening with it, like how it was working, what was actually going on with my body when I was on birth control. And I think that's true for a lot of people. Like, our doctors tell us that we should start taking something. We're like, you're the doctor, you know best, so you start taking it, but you really don't have an understanding of what's going on. That was definitely true for me, and I wish that I had taken the time to learn a bit more about it, because then I could have made a better decision, a more informed decision for myself. When you start taking the pill or any other kind of hormonal birth control, it's basically shutting down your whole reproductive system. You are taking in a high dose of synthetic hormones that basically halts communication between the ovaries and the brain. So these hormones signal to the brain that there's more than enough hormones, you don't need any more, and as a result, the ovaries do not get the message to ovulate, so no egg is released. To put it another way, when you are on hormonal birth controls, your hormone levels are kept at an unnaturally high level, which tricks the body into thinking it's pregnant, hence stopping ovulation. So that's kind of the general overview of how it works. Now, does the pill balance hormones? This is a pretty big misconception about hormonal birth control, because a lot of people are given the impression that it does balance your hormones. I was told back when I first got on it that going on birth control would help to balance my hormones, hence removing my hormonal acne. But that's not really the case. Not calling her a liar, but this is a misconception about the pill, because the pill or hormonal birth control does not balance your hormones. It actually suppresses hormones. So once you stop taking birth control, whatever symptoms you had before, whether it's acne, cramps, irregular periods, heavy periods, painful periods, any type of hormonal imbalance, it's going to come back. And I'm speaking from experience, because after I stopped taking birth control, surprise, surprise, my acne, the cystic hormonal acne, came right back. And not only will it come back, it will probably be even worse than before, because you've gone all of this time. For me, it was multiple years without addressing the real issue. So hormonal birth control is really just a band-aid. It's not curing your issues, it's just masking them. That is why a lot of people experience post-birth control syndrome, which is a lot of different symptoms coming up after you get off of the pill. It could be whatever you were experiencing before, it could be new symptoms. A lot of people don't even get their period back for weeks or months or even years or ever. It's a lot to think about. So I know that birth control and your decisions around reproductive health are very, very personal. I can't really tell you what's best for you, but from my experience, I have learned that hormonal birth control is just not for me. It's not something that I ever plan on being on again, just based on everything I've learned and my experience having been on it for about 7 years. Now, I will say the process of getting off of it can be a bit tricky. I know that I didn't do it the best way possible because I just kind of went off of it cold turkey, and there are ways that you can really smooth the transition and make it a little bit easier on you and your body and reduce the symptoms that you might experience. So if you are interested in learning about how to get off of the birth control pill, or you just want to learn more about this topic, about how your hormones work, because it's a really important topic to understand and have a grasp of what's actually going on in our bodies. I think that is so important. So if you're interested in learning more about this topic, one resource that I would highly recommend, it's helped me tremendously throughout the last couple of years, is a book called Beyond the Pill. It's by Dr. Jolene Brighton. She has a really, really useful website as well with tons of blog posts full of information on pretty much any hormone related topic you could think of. But that book has been really, really helpful for me along my journey of getting off of birth control and battling the post-birth control syndrome, which she talks a lot about. Definitely check that out. I'll leave a link to that in the description below. So thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, definitely give it a thumbs up. And if you're interested in more topics like this one on holistic health and wellness, then definitely subscribe to my channel. And I would love to know your thoughts on the pill or other hormonal birth control methods, so leave me a comment below. And I will talk to you soon. I hope you have a wonderful weekend, or whenever you're watching this, wonderful day, evening, morning, whatever. Take care, and I will see you in the next video.